Hello friends, it's the Stitchess. It is a new year. It's been a new year for several weeks now, and with my style changing so much in the last couple years, and also with moving cities, all these big changes have been happening in my life, so I really wanted to start the year fresh with a massive, brutal closet clean out. So to start, I pulled everything out of my closet, Marie Kondo style, and organized everything by type. So like pants in one pile, t-shirts in another, long sleeve shirts, sweaters, socks. You see where this is going. I know that this makes a huge, overwhelming mess, and I wish there was an easier way to do this, but my brain will not think critically about whether or not I actually wear and like something unless I physically hold it in my hands. Off the hanger, it's just a necessary tactile experience that I have to have while I'm decluttering. I know that a lot of these types of vlogs will also be filmed like sit-down style, going through every piece of clothing and talking through the decision-making process with the camera, but again, my brain just doesn't work as well when I'm trying to justify my decisions to someone else, in this case, an imaginary audience. This is a process where I really work best just putting on some background noise and just focusing on the task at hand. So I hope you don't mind that this is just voiceover style. My major decision-making process at this stage was to just decide what I specifically wear and keep only those items in my closet. There are several other items that I knew I wanted to keep because of sentimental reasons or because I liked them but just didn't have a regular occasion to wear them. But I didn't want to give myself decision fatigue by making all of those choices in one go as well. So I focused solely on, when I wake up in the morning and it's a normal day, or when I want to go on a quick trip into the city, or if I'm going to film a normal video, what will I realistically reach for? Everything else was set aside. Again, this is not a keep or discard decision making, it's just strictly, do I wear this item or not? Does it fit? Is it comfortable? Do I like how it looks on my body? Once that process was done, I took all the items that I decided to keep in my wardrobe and put them all back in the wardrobe. All organized to the best of my ability for the moment. I've been in this apartment for a few months now, but there was the holidays, and of course I'm in a new place with new germs, so I did immediately get sick after I moved in, because of course I did. Thank you to my immune system, I guess. I also got rid of one of my dressers while I was moving, so I haven't really had the chance to figure out how exactly I want to store all of my small items. I think I want to get a set of drawers that will fit on one of these closet shelves, but I'm not really in a massive hurry to spend money on that right now. This works for now. If you are wondering where my husband's clothes are, he has 2 dressers that he keeps his things in, and the small handful of items that he owns that actually need to be hung are in the closet with my things, but they're just sort of tucked around the corner where you can't actually see them from this camera angle. Between the two of us, I'm the only one who actually needs or even likes taking the time to hang my clothes, so I took the built-in closet and he took the dressers, since that's just what works best for us. A couple days later, in a completely separate room in my apartment, I went through all of my remaining garments and organized them into clothing that I want to discard, clothing that I want to upcycle or dye or otherwise DIY, and clothing that I want to store. I tried to limit my storage to one of these big bins because I do have limited space, and I sort of did a good job sticking to that. I have one big tub that holds all of my most sentimental items that aren't in use in my day-to-day life, and it is now halfway filled with homemade clothing that I feel some sort of attachment to, as well as clothing and other items that other people have made for me. And then I have one of these smaller, shorter tubs garment that is strictly my Lolita wardrobe. So technically, if you were to take out all of the clothing that I had tried to store and put it all in one tub, it would fit, but I decided to separate out the Lolita clothing to make it a little bit easier to find and get to if I do decide to wear Lolita clothing. My discard pile was then separated into items that were worth the time of trying to sell on Depop and the items that weren't. If an item wasn't worth trying to sell but it was still usable, then I set that aside for donation. And here are the items that I will be selling. I put them all on hangers and hung them on this rack, and I only changed my mind and decided to keep 2 of these garments, which is actually really good for me. Usually it's like 5 or 8.
And now it's time for a quick commercial break.
Normally at this point I wind up with a massive mending pile, but lately I've actually been really good at just fixing things as I find them. I've been taking pretty good care of my clothes in general, so there weren't really any garments that needed darning or buttons sewn back on or seams resewn, so that was really cool. But I did have a small box of garments that were still my style in theory, but I wanted to dye them a different color. So I started the process of dyeing everything from that box. This is very time consuming, so I'm still working on it, but as an example, this is a shirt that I really love the design of, but I don't have any hot pink anywhere else in my closet, and I really didn't want to keep it hot pink because it just doesn't fit with what I'm currently going for with my personal style, so I decided to dye it red. I wasn't sure what to expect when it came to the specific shade that it would come out, but I really love how this piece took the dye in the end. I was shocked that I was able to get such a bright primary red when it was already another color to start with, but I will make some very cool outfits with this shirt, I think. And then of course I had the arduous task of photographing and listing all of my sale items on Depop to complete. If you're watching this video the day it comes out, then hopefully everything is already on my Depop. I wanted this video to coincide with the release of all of these clothes and accessories, and I also had a few collectibles that I wanted to sell as well. My Depop handle will be in the description, but it's just the same as my username everywhere else. If you search for The Stitchess, you shouldn't have any trouble finding my account. In addition to photographing these items, I also took measurements of them and recorded that all down in just a notebook, and then weighed everything so that I would have the weight for shipping. Obviously, I have to add the weight of shipping materials to the weight of the item to get the final shipping tier that they would be put in on Depop. This is, especially when you have this many items, it is a multiple day process. But it is so satisfying when it's all done. And that, I believe, is everything. Just a short and sweet vlog for today. I really love having the ability to more easily put together outfits now that my closet is filled with only items that I love, items that I actually reach for in the morning, and things that I actually feel comfortable in. And with that, I hope everyone has a good rest of your day. As a little treat, we'll end the video with footage of one of my cats chasing their tail, because sometimes she just does that. And it's really cute and fun to watch. And there's a lot of not fun stuff happening in the world right now, so this is my gift to all of you. Bye!